Now, we know the most recent news poll showed that the yes vote for the Voice is going through the floor. There's some more polling out today from Australian Community Media, which has a stable of regional newspapers. Their polling is showing that 55% of people now in the regions are saying they will not support the Voice to Parliament. Support is now at 38%. Jenna, I honestly think this is dead in the water. I don't know how they're going to come back from this. I mean, this is obviously regional people, and regional people are those who are most likely, I think, to feel the effects of a Voice to Parliament, because we see what's going on in WA at the moment, where they're saying if you want to drive a fence post into the ground, you've got to go and seek permission from some bureaucratic mob. I just can't see the Voice getting up from this point.
Yeah, look, I think given what we saw in 2019, we all take polls with a grain of salt at this point in time. But when you read the devil within this detail, the ACM poll, 10,000 is a pretty big sample size. And like you say, the regions are probably going to sway this referendum come the end of the year. But it was interesting that Canberra the socialist state of Canberra, I should say, the ACT, did have a resounding yes vote, and which is quite ironic considering that's the Prime Minister. We've heard for the final sort of days of the sitting fortnight just gone, this isn't a voice for Canberra. Turns out it probably is, because they're the only people that are probably going to vote for it. But I think it's all going to come down to, the Indigenous Affairs Minister, Linda Burney. She'll address the National Press Club tomorrow with a bit of a rallying cry. And they need to start putting in, the Yes camp need to start putting in some tent poles about what the KPIs of the Voice can actually achieve. And once you get that, I think people will probably start paying more attention, because at the moment it just seems that there's a lot of scattergun detail and no actual outcomes that are going to be addressed.
Well, tell us, Nick, you support it. How are they going to get it over?
Well, can I start by pointing out some of the shortcomings of that poll? It was a sort of newspaper readers poll. Yes, 10,000 people participated, but it's not a random sample. It's like a Daily Telegraph poll or a Herald Sun poll. Bit of fun. We all have a look at them and have a laugh, but not even
come on. The numbers were pretty close to what the news poll
Not
showed.
even the people conducting the poll would hold it up as a serious indication of the broader population's view. Having said that, I will concede that the numbers are not where the supporters of the yes case would want them to be, and I would agree with you that more work needs to be done to get that yes vote up and make the case. And look, at the end of the day, as my daughter, who was talking about it over dinner tonight, said to me, if you were going to vote no, like some people, I'm sure viewers might be, really probably won't make any difference to them if they vote no. But if they vote yes and it gets up, it might make a big difference to Aboriginal people. And we do need to make a change. We need to try something new. And the idea of the Voice, I think, has a good basis. In my experience of, I've worked in government for many years, you do make better policy when you listen to people. Same in business as well. If you listen to your customers, you do better. In most walks of life, most activities, if you actually listen to the people you're trying to serve, then you get better outcomes. And I think through the Voice, it'll be a mechanism for providing better advice to government, and so they can devise policies and programs that better service those Aboriginal communities. Second, I think, key point is, look, we throw a lot of money at Aboriginal affairs in this country, and we're still not getting the results that any of us want to see.
True.
So it is time for us to try something new, and I think this could make a difference, and it's worth getting behind.
But Nick, don't you think this will be the 10th incarnation of an advisory body that is doing just that?
Yeah, indeed. It's exactly what it is. It is another advisory body.
This will be the 10th incarnation of an advisory body where government money is funneled to a small group of people who tell the rest of Indigenous Australia what is going to help Indigenous kids sleep safely at night. And I do not think that another elite government body based in Canberra funneling money to places of their choice is really going to assist the disadvantage that kids growing up in Indigenous Australia face today, shortening the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous children in all of those socioeconomic indicators.
Well, Kirsty, I'm sorry, but
Christy,
sorry, there's some things. I apologise, Christy. There's some things there that you have said which are just not true. They're just not true.
It's my
Well, but
opinion.
this is the
We can debate it.
this is the argument that you're
This
now
is
going to have
by
to.
Aboriginal
I'm sorry, I've got to cut you off. I've got to cut you off. I'm
to
sorry.
give advice.
This is the argument that you're going to have to put. People don't understand it, Nick. Good luck is all I can say. But we've got to go to a break. I'm very sorry. Christy, Nick, and Jenna.
The elitist body based in Canberra is just not true.
We'll see what the public say. Chris, Nick, Jenna, thank you so much for joining me tonight.